Hey, what's up guys, the Gang Dragon here. Now that I got myself to play Outbreak for many of hours, and I'm really addicting to this game mode, which has now been out for a week and a half now. So I figured I should do my review, or my first expressions on the newer zombie experience we have for Season 2. So, in terms of Outbreak, it says that this is Operation Threshold, Requiem's ongoing mission deep behind enemy lines in the world's largest outbreak zone. Complete your objectives, combat the horde, fight, explore, scavenge, loot, survive. The Ethereum arms race is on. And you can see these are the free maps we're going to be playing. Ruka, Alpine, and very new and exclusive to zombies for now, Golova. These are essentially the Fireteam Dirty Bomb maps that you play in multiplayer. And this time we're playing zombies in an open large scale map. Alright, I'll see you when we get to the gameplay. Alright, we're on the map
Welcome
Alpine.
back, strike team. Let's go get them.
And you may notice
Requiem disruptor satellite has moved into position. Ready
it's
to kick in the
very
front
overwhelming.
door.
We're on it, Carver. Uplink terminal
So
should be just ahead.
it is pretty open, pretty large, and of course we bring up the scoreboard, or the pressing with the touchpad or our button you use to bring up your little inventory. You can see it's pretty damn big. You can go anywhere you want, and of course this is where our objective is, right on this marker, just about 700 meters. But the best thing about it, you don't have to go straight for the objective. You don't have to go directly immediately to it. You can actually explore around and gather any resources that you find. Loot crates, just find shit. And of course, watch out when you're entering inside few buildings, because some zombies will spawn inside. And here, of course, you can also avoid avoid actually encountering zombies. But if you do encounter them, just make sure you're prepared for a fight.
Rid myself of that.
So, Outbreak to me is probably the true revelations for zombies. And it's definitely a way better revelations than the actual name of that map in Black Ops 3, which is a rather disappointing in my opinion. Because it just held the other pieces from each different map from previous games and just added a few new ones only in the spawn area and the Apothecon. And the ending is not the greatest in the world. And Holdout really sucks at making endings, to say the least. And what I mean by being the true elevations is it has everything from the enemies you fight, from the wonder weapons from Die Machine and Firebase C. So all the wonder weapons like the Die Shockwave, the Ray K84, and the Ray Gun are in Outbreak. And every type of enemy that you fight also appear here as well. You have zombies, plague hounds, hellhounds, and they also had some new ones too, like the Tempest, which are like the electric dude, or Adigago. I probably butchered the name. I kind of forget because I don't call them that in a while. Which is those lightning dudes back in BO2, except much more annoying and not very fun to deal with. And the new one, well, not a returning enemy, but they just changed the name due to being, the whole Russian occupation, being the Crancy Soldat, which is essentially a Russian version of the Panzer Soldat. Though that name alone, Crancy Soldat, sounds a bit too cringy and doesn't sound intimidating or badass at the same time. So I'm just gonna keep calling it the Panzer Soldat because it literally functions the same thing as the Panzer back in BO3. Especially it does have its own cannon, which, well, it doesn't always homing on you, but it will shoot out like a Molotov or fire and leaves a fire effect. So you can say that, you know, the whole model of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that says everyone is here? Well, this is what literally this game mode is for zombies. Has every type of enemy, has every type of wonder weapon, and I'm definitely certain that they're going to add way more as more updates we keep getting. If, of course, a lot of people give it a lot more love and actually how praised this is. Another cool ability you can have is you can now parachute. When you go up to a high place or using a jump pad, you can actually parachute and glide all over the place. And if you're lucky enough, you can able to grab some of these 500 essence, so you can get your money back and get even a bit more. You can also use vehicles in this game, which is also pretty nice. Also, there are some side quests you can do, but before I get to that, let me talk about the main objectives you need to do. Now, unlike traditional classic zombies, where you're supposed to, you know, kill zombies, go high rounds, or try and finish off the main quest, here, your actual objective will show you where you need to go. And this one here is Eliminate. There's a total of 5 objectives you have to do in each region. So Eliminate, all you had your objective is to kill the HVT. It does come in 3 phases. Once you weaken enough, it will try to, you know, try to run away a little bit, but then we'll go to a new location and you have to watch out for its minions. But once you finish them off, it's probably the more easiest objective to do. The next objective is escort, where of course you have to escort a rover drone into these portal rifts. And there are 2 different types of rifts. You got the smaller rift, where the rover will just look at it for scanning for a possible entry, which doesn't have it, so it just cleans it off and just proceed for the next one. It will do it 3 times. After the 3rd one, you basically complete your objective. And the other possibility is having these big open rifts, which it will try to go inside, but then get rejected and basically launch it out of the sky, and you just have to track it again. But the object inside a rover will change. Of course, it will change from a monkey to a snowman to a pile of sandbags to a corpse. But sometimes you get the Ethereum crystals that you can shatter, or power-ups. The next objective is one of the other 5 is the defend, where your objective is to grab a specimen's head and bring it to the analyzer so it could be studied and experimented on how the zombie communication work. Of course, you're going to need to defend it from zombies and other enemies as well. So you have to defend it for a couple minutes. Easy peasy. The 4th objective that you're gonna get is retrieve. And the objective is you have to retrieve 2 of the Ethereum crystals and bring them to the rocket, so it can be launched in where Dr. Strauss is, so it can actually study more on these crystals or gather a little bit more. Of course, when you pick up a canister, you have to purge it first before you can actually take it. And once you carry it or pick it up, you will be slow. You cannot jump, go inside a vehicle. But the problem with being in the vehicle, though, it does take damage, and of course, if you're using a vehicle that's not in good condition, it does get very slow and gonna break anytime soon. So having stamina up is really nice to have. And there's gonna be a lot of enemies. But also another cool thing about the Ethereum canister, it does come with its own unique field upgrade, where you can actually blast all the zombies out of your way. Pretty nice to have if you're going to pick it up straight away, or go and load it into the rocket. And I like to call this upgrade the Ethereum Blast, which essentially it just blasts all the zombies out of the way, and for specials and heavies, or elites, as well as zombies that are not in the kill radius, all of them will get knocked back. So it's pretty nice to have. And of course the skill does affect when you have speed cola, so you don't have to fully charge it right away. You will be able to use it. Now the fifth and final objective we have for now, I don't know if they're going to add any more, or these are going to be the 5, but I would love to see new objectives. But the final one is probably the worst one in my opinion, and is Holdout. Of course, your objective is to destroy a large Ethereum crystal that has been planted outside of, basically on the opposite side of the map where you are from when you spawn in. Of course, it places the charges, but you'll be teleported to the dark ether, and you just need to hold out for a short period of time. And there's 3 different types of phases. Usually the first phase, it usually comes with just zombies and dogs, either plague hounds or hellhounds. While the second phase will contain, well, now special enemies and elites. The other ones who will appear are manglers, mimics, and even the worst ones, the megatons, which are very challenging indeed, especially the higher rounds you go. But you mostly get teleported inside to a small building. But considering each of them have their own personal, which one people would prefer for the holdout in each of the map, if I had to consider the worst from the best for the holdout maps, it's gotta be, the worst one's gotta be for holdout would be Golova. Second would be Ruka, and one for being the best for holdout is Alpine.
Picking up enemy contacts near you. Hunt them down.
Because Golova is such a small area of a map, or small size of a building, and you don't have a lot of room to run around and defend yourself. And now I can finally talk about the side quests. I did the very first one, which is the golden chest, which usually been summoned up from the dark ether. You had to interact with it and show them you're worthy of opening the chest by killing every horde around it. And you get a nice juicy reward too. Any golden chest you collect, you will get a...
Enjoy your special death.
Okay, that was close. You get a full power, which allows you to refill your special meter, or your fuel upgrade. The second side quest you do is what I'm doing right now, is avenging my fallen comrades, where they got killed by a horde of these high HVTs.
Feel my fangs.
Now these HVTs can come from in different forms, from manglers, panther soldats, and megatons. Okay, once you kill the last of the group, it will drop a random perk.
Good hunting.
And sometimes they will drop other new weapons, guns, support, or even a perk cans.
Dead. For real now.
The third and final side quest you can do is the dragon. Of course, it's the exact same dragons that you had to feed, just like in Dark and Druck, but this time around they don't have much of the table manners, so you can actually able to get many kills as you want, and the dragon will eat it regardlessly. So you don't have to wait it out to do its animation, where it's just have a zombie fly towards the dragon's mouth and the dragon just chomps away. Of course, it's on a time limit though, where you can only kill So your best option is to kill as fast as you can with the zombies. That way you can get a much better rarity of the loot chest. Of course, you can actually see the canister being filled up with the pink liquid. If it's already full, you'll get a large golden chest. If you're doing okay or that was good, you mostly get a large chest. If you did like a bit average, you mostly get a medium chest. And if you did completely awful, then you're just gonna get a small chest. And this definitely affects on the difficulty and the high rounds you go to. There's also stuff too besides the side quests that you can find. You can also find some type of like an ether rift or a type of little orb that you can. That's the exact same orbs you found in Onslaught. And if you shoot it, it will drop essence, and it will try to flee, and you can just chase after it until they go to the second location, and then shoot it again and follow it for the third and last time.
Better than sex.
And then if you kill the last one of the orb, you do get a medal of a pinata, and you also drop way good items too. You get like, of course, a perk can, at least a tier 4 weapon, and a support. And sometimes they do drop wonder weapons. I think it depends on the level and difficulty. So there's a lot of exploration to do. And this is what really nice about it is you can go at your own pace. You don't have to rush it. Hell, I mean, you may even lose hours of time, or even lose track of time, just because of how long you stayed playing the same region.
Connection established. Systems nominal. Locking target. Initiating.
And I do have to say, this game mode
Kill it. The Horde
is pretty fun.
Apex HVTs like
Honestly, it's probably one of the best alternative game modes that Zombies ever had. Now, yes, I mean, the BO2 game modes like Grief and Turn, while they are sounds good on paper, I really don't like those game modes. Although I do think Grief was a kind of a cool idea, and I didn't really mind it at all about Grief. But I think to me it should be a one-time thing. After all, Zombies is all about is a co-op game mode. If I want to play against players and against zombies at the same time, I would play either multiplayer or battle royale. And the other game modes in BO4 were Rush and Gauntlet, which those two game modes I actually do enjoy. I like Rush for being the more quick, fast pace, and I like Gauntlet for the more uniqueness of the challenge. But unfortunately, those two game modes fall very fast.
Apex target down.
Another good kill, strike team.
In terms of the longevity and the basically how long you can play for investing many hours in those game modes. Where Rush, you can mostly reach high score within 30 minutes. Well, Gauntlet may take you about an hour if you don't know what you're doing. But the problem with Gauntlet though is once you complete your 30 rounds of the Gauntlet and did it with no strike, you get your rewards. There's no point to replay Gauntlet again because there's no replay value. Especially that the Gauntlet challenges are always going to be the same, in the same order. So that's a little bit disappointed. But at least for Outbreak, they actually made the replay value endlessly. And this is by far
Back to hell with you.
the best game mode that Outbreak has to offer. And of course, once you complete your main objective, you have to activate the anomaly, or mostly a beacon. Once there, you could use the beacon to warp you to the next region, which is a much harder difficulty and more rewards. Especially you get more crystals, if you manage to complete more objectives. Or you can exfil just like any other, where you actually destroy the beacon, and you have to exfil by a helicopter. But of course, you eliminate the horde as you go through. And I do have to say, this game mode is, overall, definitely the greatest addition that Zombies has ever offered. And this leaves a very big impact in the Zombies community as a whole. And I don't think any other game mode will gonna top up Outbreak like this. And to me, I think the Outbreak game mode is here to stay. It is not gonna go away anytime soon. And to me, I think it's gonna keep getting updates with more content we keep getting. As long as the game being supported and keeps going, we'll definitely see more of these stuff. And of course, once you activate the beacon, you get all this stuff to help you to craft, able to upgrade your weapon, craft your armor, craft your equipment, support. Of course, you have your basic stuff, you have your pack-a-punch where you can able to upgrade from, of course, more levels that gives you more damage. And of course, different types of ammo mods you can pick. And of course, we have our arsenal station where you can able to upgrade your armor and also repair your armor, and also upgrading your weapon damage. So yeah, there's two ways to upgrade your weapon to get even more damage. Of course, with a legendary tier 5 damage with a level 3 pack does wonders. Of course, we have our Wonder Fizz machine. Of course, give you different variety of perks that you can buy. And of course, each time you buy a perk, it will cost additional 500 more points for the next one. And we have our crafting table where you can craft your equipment from tactical, lethal, as well as support. Basically the score streak from multiplayer, and you can also craft a self-revive. And of course, you go to the beacon. You could either warp to the next region, or you could just call an exfil right away. And I think that's pretty much it. Of course, the wall weapons too as well will be changed and will be different tiers as well. So don't expect this tier 4 of the LW3 ton, or it could be the same weapon but in a different tier. It's always random, which I love. And that's what to me is the RNG that keeps the replay value, is the RNG. And I think Treyarch really took notes from Overkill with their Payday 2 game that's all about RNG. After all, if you don't have RNG, the game gets very boring, very predictable, and at the same time, just not that fun. Also, you can also do trials in this game too, but the trials here are much more better. You have like 5 minutes to do a trial, and you can get good rewards. Especially you can get the shockwave on round 1, which is pretty insane. Of course, you can be able to carry 2 wonder weapons. You can carry the shockwave and the Ray K84. However, though, you cannot equip both the ray gun and the Ray K. It just doesn't work for some reason. And maybe that's why we didn't see the ray gun in Firebase C. After all, the Ray K84 is essentially a assault rifle ray gun, basically. And plus, the Ray K, in my opinion, is definitely better than the ray gun. And this is also a good game mode to help you to level up, or at least help you to traverse for your battle pass. Since this game by time, but I think there's usually a cap to it. I think the earlier battle pass of your level, I don't know, until you reach like the 80s, that's when it comes a little bit slower. So I spent here like about 5 to 6 hours, and that's how I was able to level up 5 of my tiers in the battle pass. Did the same thing again, but much more, a little bit higher, or spent a little more hours in. Only got like 1 tier done, so it really shows. But yeah, that's pretty much, well, this is definitely a big, my long review of Outbreak, but after all, I do want to cover up every detail of Outbreak has to offer. I also forgot to mention that you also get these fire demons, or these echo guys, where they usually are the zombies or the enemy that they jump scare you when you grab the ray gun. If you kill them very quickly, you can able to, and they will drop items, and you get a medal, and they're also part of a calling card where you need to kill. But if you this game mode is actually a free game mode, instead of a free trial, make this game mode free to all players, even for people who don't own Cold War. That way, if people liked what they see and like to play the game, and probably like to play other modes besides Outbreak, well, they might consider buying Cold War. But for now, I think just having Outbreak for free is a good choice, considering how open and large it is. And plus, this is pretty fun for the summer community. After all, this is the second time they did a free trial for zombies in Cold War. We had it in January in the 115 day, and one basically a week ago when Season 2 was out. And to me, I don't think this game is going to be a one-time thing where we have this and they're going to focus in the classic zombies all the way. I think they're going to focus on both of those game modes, the classic and Outbreak. And of course, with more updates means we're going to get more perks, more ammo mods, more fuel upgrades, more enemies, and of course new weapons, especially wonder weapons. And it will be pretty interesting to see what people's setups are they going to have for higher rounds. So, thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time, farewell, and have a wonderful day, everyone.